Hi, this is Simon Barker, S Barker Electrical Ltd, and I'm going to tell you today what is a good pat testing, paperwork and everything. There's loads of different people doing pat testing, and there's so many people do it what I would say is cheap, but cheap is actually a bit of a misleader because you're not getting what you should get. There's a bare minimum of information that you should get. So if you were to have an incident where you had to prove that it was done properly, that particular paperwork very much more often than not would not be suitable to prove that you've had it done properly. Now I'll go through what I mean a bit. So basically cheap does not mean good in a lot of cases, and I've seen it a lot. That's why I'm doing this video. So first of all, what some people do is they knock up something in Excel, or they have only one bit of paper, and that is what you would call a certificate. I've crossed out the name and address there, but a certificate like that. Now there's nothing wrong with that actual certificate, but not just that alone. And also what you don't want as well is if someone gives you an inventory, so you've got some numbers and an inventory and that's it, maybe that certificate as well, that is no use. Now you get a little bit of information in this, but it's only part of the whole picture. So there it says valid until June 2018 in this case, and it's got the certificate number and sign, it's got my details and their details. But what's important is a couple of other things as well. Now if there's different reasons that you get pat testing, you might have an office, or you might be a landlord who has provided some equipment. You might be a musician or entertainer of some sort who needs it for a venue because you won't even get in the venue without this paperwork. And they're clamping down on it now, making sure that you get the right paperwork as well. Or you might just want to get it done for peace of mind. Some people do that, not very often, but it's good. Even if you have had faults on your different appliances over the past, you would either check out the fixed wiring with an electrical condition report, or you would check out the appliances if you suspect them with a pat testing. So this is the main thing that should go on as well. So you get these labels. It's better to print them because they're just more legible. So in this case, it's actually changed now. They used to have both a test date and a due date. Now the due date in the regulations has been removed from the requirements and from the sticker, because the due date is now up to you. Although that doesn't sound, that's not quite as good as it sounds, because it should still be done at a certain period depending on, there's a lookup table in the regs. Typically some might be 1 year, might be every 2 years. Depends on whether you're in a public place, who else is going to be in there a lot using the equipment, what type of equipment it is, whether it's metal, whether it's insulated, double insulated, plastic, or whatever. So the frequency varies, but it shouldn't be just lengthened because you want it to. The issue is that if you decide to lengthen it, you then have to prove why and give a risk assessment and prove that you've carried out a risk assessment and you think that it can go from 2 years to 5 years. Here's why, but that would be down to you, and the liability would be down to you. So unless you're really good at risk assessments and you're absolutely certain that the risk is reduced in different ways, then you're better off probably just sticking to what the tables say. I do have some further information on those if you want to know what your retest frequency should be for your type of equipment. Just ping me an email, simon@sbarker.co.uk, and I'll tell you that. So back on with this. One of the important things with the labels, how many times have you been into a shop or noticed on the reception monitor or the hand dryer in the toilets that you've got a sticker on, but it's got no information? This one says, it's got my number on, but it's got an application, appliance ID. It's also got who tested it, my initials, and the test date. This is a green one, that's a pass one. You can also get red ones for fail. If any do fail, I do let people know straight away so they can do something about it, chuck it out and replace it or fix it, whatever. So that's important. If you've got no information on there, that's not real proof of it being done. It's almost like one of the ways that some people do them cheaper is use a manual test to go around and get away with as little as possible and slap stickers on them. That is an indicator of that happening often, or if it's really scribbled and just done fast. So what you really want, and this is the essential bit, if you've got someone doing it manually, or if you've got a high-end tester like this one which stores all of the test and it's got an automatic sequence in to do it really quick, which is better for convenience because you're not powering off PCs for very long, you back up again. The essential bit is this report here. So it's not just an inventory of, extension, power lead, the number, test day. It's more than that. It's got all the different tests on there. So the results of all the different tests are on there. So you can look in future and say, you can actually see if something's deteriorating. So there's all different tests here. Depends whether it's a metal or plastic, and earthing is on the metal objects and that sort of thing. You can see it's actually tested. You see all those different results down the column. It's the actual result of the probes touched onto the appliance and so on. It also gives you a total number of items tested at the end for the report and that sort of thing. But those results there are important. They've come straight off the machine, uploaded into my software and out onto that report. So it's both a certificate and a report, and a detailed report. Now, if there's any fails as well, that particular machine of mine, this one, it can take photos. That's a camera and a flash on the back. It's been in some filthy environments, but it's still going good. That will take photos and it'll attach onto there, and it'll go onto an additional sheet which has all of the different photos on. So for example, a smashed plug, a switch falling out, something that's just not good, like a lead pulled out of a plug and things like that. So that's really what you're looking for. If you don't get all that, there's a good chance that you've just wasted your money. So just come and ask me questions if you want to know, if you're suspicious of yours, or if you want to know my price and get it done next time, which is quick with an automated tester. But anyway, drop me a line or share this with someone who you think it will be useful for, or just pop some comments underneath and I'll ask some questions there straight away. Thanks very much.